Erica walked down the empty street, her tiny twin baby girls cradled in her arms. The night was heavy with tension, the clouds above swollen and dark as if reflecting the storm raging inside her heart. She had made up her mind. Tonight, she would discard them as though they were nothing more than trash. Each step she took echoed ominously against the silent houses. Lightning streaked across the horizon, illuminating the street in harsh, fleeting flashes. Thunder cracked loudly, shaking the air, as if the world itself was warning her not to do it. Ahead, she spotted a gate, and beside it, an old, rusted trash can. Her palms were sweaty as she lifted the lid, placing the babies gently inside, though her mind was numb. She turned away, walking fast, refusing to look back. Another bolt of lightning tore through the sky, and the babies stirred, tiny cries escaping into the night. A small, hesitant voice inside her whispered, "What if rain fills the trash can and they drown?" But she ignored it. Their lives, their cries, meant nothing to her. She reached the bus stop and climbed aboard a bus bound for the city. As it pulled away, she exhaled and smiled for the first time in months. She was free. The babies were gone, and she could return to her life in the city, clubs, men, money, all without the burden of motherhood. Meanwhile, the storm above continued to rage, but something miraculous happened. The clouds parted almost instantly, and the sky was sprinkled with stars. A mentally ill woman, wandering in search of food as she often did, stumbled upon the trash can. Her eyes widened at the sight of the two crying infants. She looked around cautiously, then reached in, lifting them gently. Cradling them close, she noticed a moldy piece of bread she had collected earlier and tucked it carefully into her ragged shawl. Slowly, she walked to her usual sleeping spot behind a derelict building. She laid down old rags and placed the babies on them, but their cries pierced the night. Kneeling before them, she whispered, "I know you're hungry. I'll give you food." She broke the moldy bread into tiny pieces and tried to feed them, but the babies pushed it away, their wails growing louder. Frustration painted her face. "Stop crying. Stop disturbing me. I am your mother, and I command you to stop," she shouted. The cries didn't cease. Her voice softened again. "I'm sorry I shouted at you. Please forgive me. I won't shout again. You are my children." She handed them water from a grimy container, the only water she had, and finally, the babies drank, their cries subsiding. Exhausted, they fell asleep on the filthy rags, and the woman lay beside them, dozing fitfully. At dawn, Mr. Daniel, a local bus driver, went for his morning jog. Passing a quiet corner, he noticed the woman and the two infants. The baby's cries pierced him with a familiar pain. He remembered his own twin sons, lost to a car accident 3 years earlier. The memory made his heart ache, but seeing these babies awakened a fierce resolve within him. He knew he had to help, but first, he needed to calm the woman. He remembered one thing she loved, soda. Reaching into his pocket, he pulled out some money. "Go buy 5 bottles of Coke," he said gently. "Drink it with your babies." At the mention of the word, her expression softened. She dropped the stones she had been collecting and walked toward the street. As she disappeared around the corner, Mr. Daniel hurried forward, scooping up the babies, wrapping them in his arms, and rushing home. The mentally ill woman found the store closed, and panic surged within her. She banged on the door, threatening to burn it down if not served. Startled, the shop owner quickly handed over the bottles, and she ran back, only to find the babies gone. Her cries echoed through the streets as the sun rose, tears streaming down her dirt-covered cheeks. At Mr. Daniel's home, he stripped the babies of their filthy clothes, bathing them in antiseptic water and wrapping them in clean towels. He fed them formula, holding them close as if afraid to let go. That same day, his fiancée, Rachel, came over. Her eyes lit up when she saw the babies, but when Mr. Daniel explained their origin, her smile vanished. "So you're taking care of 2 other people's children? 2 crying babies?" "Not in my house," she snapped. Despite his pleas, she left him, ending their engagement. Heartbroken but resolute, Mr. Daniel refused to give up the twins. Days later, both babies fell ill with fever. Their tiny bodies burned like fire, and their breathing was weak. Mr. Daniel rushed them to a local hospital. Doctors, recognizing the severity of the infection, referred him to a specialist hospital in the city. There, a doctor explained, bacteria from the trash has entered their system. Immediate surgery is required, or they will not survive. The cost was more than $1 million for both babies, a sum Mr. Daniel did not have. Desperate, he sold his bus, the only source of income, for far less than its value. The operation was performed successfully, and after 2 months in the hospital, the twins were discharged. Life was far from easy. With limited income, Mr. Daniel worked in a stone quarry while raising the twins. The children, determined to help, began selling bananas on the streets after school, walking long distances with trays balanced on their heads. Despite failing their college entrance exams, they refused to give up. Their resilience shone through, and they poured their savings into expanding their fruit business. Within a few years, they owned a large depot distributing bananas and other fruits across multiple states, with their father managing the operations. Meanwhile, Erica, aging and frail, returned to the city, facing poverty and illness. Desperate, she tried to sell fruits at the twins' depot, unaware they were the same babies she had abandoned. Seeing them thriving, she begged for goods to sell. The twins, sensing something familiar yet unable to place it, graciously assisted her. Eventually, Mr. Daniel revealed the truth. The twins had been rescued by a mentally ill woman named Martha. Shocked, Erica realized the thriving young women before her were the babies she had discarded years ago. Overcome with fear, she collapsed and was hospitalized, surviving but left physically weakened. The twins, displaying extraordinary compassion, covered her medical expenses. Once Martha's treatment for her mental illness was successful, the twins brought her into their home, giving her a safe and loving environment. Erica's health continued to decline, riddled with diseases linked to years of neglect and wickedness. Facing her mortality, she summoned the twins and confessed her crimes. Despite learning the truth, Lucy and Celestina forgave her, understanding the power of compassion and human kindness, even as her life ended shortly after. The twins laid Erica to rest but continued to care for Martha, their second mother. Together, they built a life filled with love, healing, and peace. This story reminds us that every action has a consequence, and the seeds we plant today shape the world we leave tomorrow. Cruelty and selfishness may seem to bring freedom, but they only lead to suffering, while love, compassion, and selflessness have the power to heal, protect, and transform lives. Even in the darkest moments, when hope feels lost, a single act of kindness can change the course of destiny. Forgiveness, resilience, and caring for others, even at great personal cost, reveal the true strength of the human heart and the incredible difference we can make in someone else's life. For more twisted, emotional, and inspiring stories, hit that subscribe button and stay connected with Silent Battles Hub.